Today's episode is brought to you by Sincerely Shalia, my very own greeting card line, written and designed by me for real love and real life. Whether you need the perfect card to celebrate love, apologize, or say what's on your heart, Sincerely Shalia has you covered. So skip the generic and say it your way. Check out my full collection at shaliavinny.com/greeting cards and find the card that speaks for you. I can't wait till you guys check them out. And don't forget to let me know what you think. I love you guys. Hello and welcome to the Love This Way podcast, the show that exists to help men and women everywhere to be better at love. Never any gender wars or back and forth, only great tips to help you find and sustain the love of your dreams. Because love is a journey, but you still need direction. So grab your tribe and get ready, because on each episode we're going to be talking about our real life issues, answering tough questions, and building solid relationships with one another as we heal, learn, and grow. I'm your host, your girl, Dr. Shalia Vinny, and on today's show, we're going to be tackling something that hits home for everybody. Why they only miss you when it's too late. You go ahead and heal, and you move on, and boom, here they come. Hey, my babies, welcome back to another episode of Love This Way. I really want to talk, we need to talk about this because we've all seen this happen. You move on, you start healing, and suddenly, the very person who broke you, who took you for granted, who did not see you standing in front of them with tears streaming down your face, wants you back. But why does this always happen after you finally let them go? Why didn't they see your value when they had you? Today, we're going to break down the science and psychology of regret. Why do people only realize what they had once it's gone? And more importantly, why their regret is not your responsibility. So by the end of this episode, I hope that you're never going to waste time waiting for someone to see your worth again. So let's break down the psychology around why they only miss you after you're gone. Number one, there's the contrast principle. Now, what this is people don't always appreciate what's in front of them because they don't have anything to compare it to. So when they had your love and your effort and your consistency, all of that felt normal to them and they thought that they would always have it. But now that you're gone, they experience this cold reality of losing a good thing, and suddenly your value becomes clear. Regret is not always about you. It's oftentimes about them losing comfort, validation, and access to your energy. Then, of course, number two, there's the scarcity effect. The less available something is, the more valuable it seems. So when you were always there, they took you for granted. But the moment you become unavailable, then their brain starts to shift and see you as rare and desirable. This is why indifference is so powerful, because it signals that you are not waiting, and that triggers panic. Number three, the emotional delay. Some people don't process emotions in real time. I don't know if you guys realize this. Oh, I'm sure you do, because some of you probably operate this way. So when people don't process emotions in real time, they distract themselves and date other people, and they just assume that they're going to be fine until reality finally hits them. One random moment, your absence in a routine, or seeing you happy without them, realizing that no one really treats them the same way. That is when the regret starts to sink in. But the truth is, they didn't change. They just lost their sense of control over you. I want to talk about what their regret really means, okay? Because regret isn't remorse. Just because they miss you does not mean they've changed. Regret is about selfishness. They miss how you made them feel. They miss what you brought into their life. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they miss you. Real remorse, however, leads to change behavior. Regret just means that they're uncomfortable. Their regret is not your closure. Don't confuse their return with proof that they were worth it all along, because you were always valuable. They just lack the capacity to see it. Letting them back in because they finally realized your worth only puts your self-esteem in their hands again. And I know some of you are dealing with the what if trap, because sometimes hearing I miss you makes people second guess why they left. But ask yourself, would you even want them back if they had never left? Are you reaching out because they've done the work or because their options ran out? And I know this. I know that my lover girls and my lover guys are going to be like, hold on, doc. I'm thinking about letting them spin the block and we can be happy this time. But I want to address this because this is so important. Because whatever decision you make, I just want you to be prepared. So I just want you to think about this. Because when a breakup happens, the mind has a funny way of filtering memories. It's so weird, but it's true. The fights and the broken trust and the pain, all of that starts to fade all of a sudden. And then what's left? The highlight reel. The late night talks, the way they smiled at you, the good moments that made you stay as long as you did. But here's the thing. Nostalgia is selective. It convinces you that things were better than they really were. And if you're not careful, you're going to mistake that for love. So ask yourself, do you miss them or do you miss the idea of them? Are you longing for who they actually were or who you hoped that they would become? Are you craving their presence or are you just fearing loneliness? Because missing someone doesn't always mean that they were right for you. If they came back unchanged, would you still want them? Or are you only considering going back because you assume that things are going to be different? It's real easy to forget why you left when you're standing in the pain of missing them. But I want you to remember that you left for a reason. And if nothing has changed, then going back is not going to heal you. It'll just reopen those wounds that were finally starting to close. Don't crumble just because they finally realized what they had in you. We been knew that you was amazing. They just needed to get it together and figure it out. So before you pick up the phone, before you answer that text, before your feelings pull you back into something familiar, I want you to be honest with yourself. Are you running toward love or are you just running from the discomfort of being alone? Please think this through. Hey, friend. If you're tired of those generic, impersonal greeting cards, I've got you covered. Sincerely Shalia is my very own greeting card line, written and designed by me to help you say what's really on your heart. Whether it's love, apologies, or just because, these cards speak for you. Skip the cookie cutter messages and send something real. Check out my collection at shaliavinny.com/greeting cards and find your perfect card today. So we've been discussing why they may be missing you and even the idea that you may even be thinking about giving them a chance. And only you know if that's wrong or right for you. That's not my decision to make. But I want to teach you how to move on either way. So here are some steps and some ideas to give you so that you can move forward the way you need to. Number one, I want you to remember that you were amazing then and you're amazing now. Your worth was not created by their regret. It was always there, no matter if they saw it or not. Number two, don't let their epiphany rewrite history. If they had to lose you to see your value, then they never truly valued you. Why did they have to let you go to realize, wow, I can't live without you? No, they should have saw that from the beginning. Number three, closure comes from within. The real win is not them regretting losing you. It's you realizing you never needed their validation in the first place. Number four, you need to trust actions and not words, because if someone is truly different, they're going to show up in consistent behavior. This is how you're going to know this. It won't just be this desperate apology. You're going to see them continuously making an effort. They're going to come hard for you. And you can expect nothing else and don't require nothing less. Number five, your future is bigger than regret. The right person won't have to lose you to see your worth. Please hear me when I say that. Let me say that again. The right person will not have to lose you to see your worth. Do with that what you will. This is what I want to leave you with, and I hope that you guys catch this. You are not someone's unfinished business. You are not a second chance that they get to take when it's convenient. Regret is not a love story. It's a wake-up call, but for them, not for you. So the next time someone realizes what they lost, you just need to remember that you're not lost. They are. But the best part about it, though, because of everything you've been through, you've already found yourself. Don't let them bring you back to the place you had to pray to get out of. Here's the truth that nobody talks about. Love is not just about finding someone. It's about choosing the right person for the right reasons at the right time. Too many people run back to the past because it's familiar, not because it's right. But if the only thing pulling you back is loneliness, nostalgia, or fear of starting over, then you're not running toward love. You're running from healing. Real love does not require you to abandon yourself. It doesn't ask you to shrink, settle, or forget the pain that once broke you. So before you turn back, ask yourself, are you walking towards something better, or are you just walking around in circles? Because the love you deserve is ahead of you, probably not behind you. Now, if you need more help, you know you can always go to shaliavinny.com and book a one-on-one session with me. I love you, and I'm going to see you on the next episode, okay? Today's show is brought to you by Sincerely Shalia, my greeting card line. Please rate the show on your favorite streaming platform, share it with one person who you think needs to hear it, and ask them to do the same. Remember, good, better, best. Don't you ever let it rest. To your good is better, and your better is best. Until next time, your friend and motivator and relationship strategist, Dr. Shalia. Bye.